Zerko's Report, episode 42. I want to talk about skill point allocation. Some of the elders and I have been talking about this, and I was informed that my skill points could be set more efficiently. So let's get right into this. Click on Hero's Abode here, go to Hero, and let's go to Hero Sets. You can see I have the battle gear, resources, which is resource production inside the city, and then resource tile farming. Over here on the right of the second entry is a ribbon with a star in it at the top right corner of that, and so that is the one I have selected. Go back to the Hero tab here, and so we need to change some stuff here. The way I have this set up is fine, but one of the elders mentioned a great idea. So this is for my resource production, and I have resource yielding 1 here on the right at the absolute minimum, just so I could get to the next block. So my food production 1, 2, and 3 is maxed out. And then after I maxed everything out that I thought was decent, I came back up here and I started lumber production. But she was saying, forget all that. But learning speed and building speed too, those are good. And so we come down here and there's lumber production 3. And then I just threw the last 7 points into stone production. But she said to go on down here to resource production 1. If we click on that, it says upgrading this skill helps you increase resource production in all resource buildings. Hey, that sounds pretty good. Below, keep going down a little bit, we have building cost, knowledge learning cost, vault capacity, keep coming, resource production 2, and then that's kind of about where you can stop. Now obviously you're thinking, well, that's for the higher level heroes. They'd have actually enough points to get down there to those lower blocks. Yeah, there's some validity to that. Now, since this is my resource production hero set, I also allocate training speed, because I don't have a hero set specifically for training, because I often don't do massive training at 100 million troops. 100 million. At 1 million troops per training event. So, since I'm not doing that much, it's not cost effective for me to have a separate hero set just for training troops. Because it cost me 2,000 to switch sets, and then another 2,000 gold to switch the sets back. So I have opted to focus on training speed on the hero set for resource production in the city. So I have training speed 2 maxed out, and then down, come back here on the left column as well, I have training speed 1 maxed out. And these other ones obviously were just the minimals I had to get to the next block. So that actually takes up quite a few. And if I had those to allocate to the right column, I would definitely have more. But, so let's see here. On the right column we have stone production 3. We can 7. We may have to have 5 there just to get to the next block, so we won't even count that. Let's go to lumber production. That's 50 out of 50. We can probably get 45 of those points back. Scroll up some more. Lumber production 20. We can probably get 15 back. That's 60 more skill points to work with. And then lumber production 1, we can get all 15 of those back. So that gives us an additional 75 skill points to work with. So let's scroll back down looking at the right column. How far can we go with 75 points? Silver production will be 5. That leaves us 70, and then resource production is, I'm not going to, oh, we have to silver production for 3 level 10. Alright, so we're gonna lose 10 on that, so that gives us 65. Resource production 1 only gives us, if we max this out, it only gives us 10%. It's pretty lame. You have to get to resource production 2 down here. Keep coming. There we go. Resource production 2 is maxed out at 30%. And so always, or not always, most cases on these hero skill points, if there's a 1 and a 2 block, or even a 3 block, the higher the block, the better the percentages they're going to give you. But you take this 30% with that 10%, that's a 40% discount on resource production, knowledge learning cost, building cost. So now 40% is substantial. 10%, that's up to you. But at 40%, I think it's something that you should focus on. Now, you don't want to reset these skills, I imagine, because you don't want to burn through gold just to test things out. So, I got something for you. I will post this link in the video description. So this interactive skill tree is awesome. We're going to reset this. Well, come on. Go all the way to the top. Alright. We're going to hit the green change button, and we're going to hit our heroes level. 51. And we're going to change a abode level to 21, which it is for me. Alright, and we're going to hit reset, the red reset button. There we go. So it shows we have 344 points to work with. There, now it's a little more readable. And we're level 54, and Heroes Abode is level 21. Alright, so one thing we want to start off with, because we're working on the resource production for inside our city. We want these top 2 maxed out before we even begin. Alright, so now we're going to scroll down. Alright, you see the problem here? This is what I was telling. Now it shows I have 648 points. Obviously, that's not the case. So there is a bug in this, but it works 9 out of 10 times. So we're going to do change here. And we're going to see here. Back to 324. We'll do a reset. 344. Okay, that was correct. So I don't know why I did that. So we're going to watch that. We're going to pay attention to those numbers. We're going to come down here to Resource Production 1. At the top right of the screen here. And if we tap that once, it's going to show us that we need level 10 of the previous block to get here. And this block maxed out is 20%. Sorry, I told you 10% earlier. So we're going to go ahead and say +1. And now that filled in all the blocks prior. And now we can either hit the 30 to max out all 30 levels. Now if you swipe sideways on this, you can, on this particular block, you can see the numbers coming down, how many points are allocated to it. You can also swipe to the right and increase that, or you can tap the block to increase it incrementally by 1. So before we go any further, we want to come all the way back to the top of the tree, and we want to make sure learning speed and building 1 as well is maxed out. And we're going to watch our numbers up here. It shows we have 257 points to allocate, so we just want to make sure that this is not going to screw this up. Alright, so it worked correctly this time. So we did want food production maxed out because we're always needing food. But we're not going to do resource yielding or any other resource. We're not going to focus on any other resource at this time. We're going to hit the 20 here and max that out to 130%. We'll come down here. Now, building 2 and learning speed 2, we want those maxed out as well. So let's verify our skill points up here at 212 remaining. We just want to make sure this points allocated to us doesn't get screwed up. And food production 3 gives us an additional 700%. Okay, we're going to come down to stone production, silver production, resource production. So here's the thing. Let's take this back to, alright, 7. And you saw the one directly below it go dim. So we know, oops, let me get this out of the way. There we go. Well, it wasn't my point. Here we go. So I believe we have to probably get this to level 10 as well. There we go. So we're not going to focus on capacity right now because capacity is for transportation. Could be wrong, but I think that's what it's. I think that's for us. Now here's construction cost again, but this is construction cost 1. They forgot to put the 1 on it. Knowledge learning cost 1. Vault capacity 2. Resource production 2. Okay, that one's going to give us much more. It's going to give us 30%. So we hit 1 on that. And then we're going to max that out. So we have 43 points left to allocate. So we're going to come back up here and we can focus on, we have 43% to spread over those 2. But we also have resource production. So since this hero set is for resource production, we really want to focus on that. That gives an additional 20%. Now we have 23 left, and we will take whatever's left there and choose construction or knowledge learning. And at this point, knowledge is going to be much longer. Eventually you'll get all your buildings built. So for me, I would choose to, now this is only 10%, mind you, maxed out. It's pretty weak. So let's see, and 3, 2. Alright, and 3 left there. Okay, so now we can see how this is going to work, and now we can go back to the game now that we've practiced here on this interactive. And then right here in the middle, you can scroll this white list and you can see what your numbers are. Silver production is 20%, but see, these don't matter again. Those were the minimum requirements. So food production is maxed out, building 2 is maxed out, food production 2, so you can see the numbers. They're much better numbers than what I had before. And so then next hero level up, then I will have enough to fill in some vault capacity and finish off construction cost. And then I can, but okay, so I've done all this, but now look over here. I don't have training speed anymore. My training speed is so good right now, so good, that I don't really want to lose that. So somewhere I have to draw the line. We're going to go back to the app. Hold on. Okay, so my training speed without the proper armor and bonuses running is 5 seconds for a T1. But when I throw change ups, a couple of my amulets, and throw a troop training boost on there, I get that down to 2 seconds. And so that's something I don't really want to give up just yet. So you got to think about those things. Alright, well, that is essentially her way of allocating for maximizing resource production in town and being self-reliant in providing the resources you need. So I encourage you to really consider that. Use the interactive skill tree for your hero, and then you don't have to keep resetting the skill points here and spending on gold unnecessarily. Anyway, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please post. Please ask. Anyway, good luck. Zerko out.